Let's bring him on. Baker Mayfield. Look at this. He's got a support group.
Oh, I got something for you. Quoted by you, right? Undraftable.
That is great.
Yeah.
By the way, do I get one of those?
I think we left something in your dressing room.
Yeah. Okay, let me start with this. Okay, first of all, we always invite people. T.O. was on the show last week, and I went right after him. He was great. Richie Incognito came on the show. Well, I was mean to him. He was great. LeVar Ball came on the show last week.
Really?
I was tough on LeVar. We always invite people. So when I said, get him on the show. So, obviously you hear some of the stuff because, the internet, everything. I hear everything. You hear everything. You did seem to kind of think it was funny. Did it make you, was there a moment that it inspired you, pissed you off? When you hear all the stuff, Baker, first thought, when you hear me just blah, blah, blah.
That you really don't know me at all. I think you hear the big headlines, which is, what people get paid to do, is write whatever to grab people's attention. Yeah. So there's no digging, there's no actual research to it. It was kind of funny to see some of the stuff, not just by you, but by a lot of people.
Right. So. Let's get to the stuff that I don't like before the stuff that I do like. Because I have said, you're not a bust. You can play. I said Tebow ain't going to work. Manziel ain't going to work. Jamarcus Russell ain't going to work. Called it my shots.
But I was worth a third, fourth, fifth round?
No. I said those guys can't play in this league.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you can play in the league. I don't think you're Russell Wilson because I think he's maybe the greatest athlete outside of Michael Vick and Steve Young I've ever seen in the league, period. I think it's unfair to say that's like saying Trae Young's going to be Steph Curry. No, he's not. Steph Curry's the greatest shooter in the history of the game. It's unfair. But let's get to the stuff I don't like. Sidelines, grabbing stuff, whizzing footballs. Come on, you're going to be a franchise quarterback. What are you grabbing stuff that? Why? What's going through your mind when you do that during games?
Have you played football past high school?
I quarterbacked, and I sucked.
Past high school?
Well, no, not past high school.
Football is a violent, competitive game.
Yeah.
That's the way it was always meant to be played.
Yeah.
You're supposed to play it with an edge. You're actually trying to impose your will on the other person to win. Right. There's things that come with it. No, my mistakes are not things that need to be a franchise quarterback. But within football, there's a lot of trash talk, a lot of stuff that is not, been made aware to everybody.
Like what?
I mean, there's stuff that's said on the field that you can't repeat, no matter where you're at.
Phillip Rivers is a trash talker, yeah, big time.
But some of my stuff, there was mistakes, but I've definitely learned from it. I wasn't a franchise quarterback then. I'm hoping to be one in the future, and I can learn from my mistakes and do that.
Did teams confront you on this stuff?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Give me an example.
Not going to go into naming teams, but there were teams that said, what kind of guy are we getting? Are we getting another Johnny, or are we getting a guy that's not going to learn from his mistakes? I mean, you think about it, they're investing a lot of money.
Time.
Yeah, exactly. And so I was expecting that, but to be able to actually sit down and talk to them, that's what I was waiting for. Instead of them just seeing headlines and assuming something, to actually be able to talk to them, that was the benefit of it.
The Big 12 has a history. There's a lot of points in that league. Oklahoma's got great players. Oklahoma almost always has the best players in the Big 12. I mean, that's just the reality of it. It's like Alabama, USC in the Pac-12. Now you go to Cleveland, and they don't have the best players in the league. You're going to be asked to carry.
I'll stop you right there. Have you seen our roster?
It hasn't proven anything. It's just a roster of guys.
Okay. Every roster is just a roster of guys at this point.
Well, but New England's guys have proven stuff. And Atlanta's guys have won games. And New Orleans guys have gotten to the playoffs.
Yeah, there's definitely guys on different teams that have done it. We have a quarterback in Tyrod Taylor that took the Bills to the playoffs for the first time in a long time.
I like him.
Good player. We have guys that are very talented. Jarvis Landry, Duke Johnson, Carlos Hyde. We have guys.
No, I know. I'm not doubting your talent. But the other teams I've seen Cam win an MVP. So he's shown. I've seen Steph hit shots. Trae Young's talented. There are two different layers here. I believe you're going to be asked at some point to elevate those around you. Or at Oklahoma, you were great, but good God, Oklahoma's Oklahoma. I mean, it's a blue blood franchise. Do you think you are a guy that can put a franchise, coaches, owner, team, city, LeBron-like, and carry a team?
That's what I want to do. That's what I tried to do at Oklahoma. I truly believe I did. Yeah, we had talent. I had great support around me, but at the same time, I set the standard and the tone. And that's what I want to do in Cleveland as well, whether that's being the best backup possible or starting. I want to be a guy that improves our team and makes everybody else better.
I support Hugh Jackson. He went 0-16. I said on the air, I'd give him another year. Absolutely. I like him. I think he's smart. I think he works. And I think it's a great advantage for you to have an offensive coach. Look what it's done to Jared Goff. Look what it's done to Jimmy Garoppolo. I like young quarterbacks, Jameis Winston, Dirk Cutter, having offensive guys. I'm a fan of Hugh. But Hugh's got to win 6-7 games or he's not getting another head coaching job. Is it possible he's going to have a slight bias to the guy who this minute can win him more football games? The veteran quarterback.
I think human nature, yeah. But that's also what I was told throughout every meeting. They're going to go with somebody that they trust in. They brought him in for that reason. They're not in any rush to play me. They want me to learn and not instead of just throwing me out into the fire where they see a lot of young guys kind of fizzle out. They want me to be able to learn, and then when my opportunity comes, be as ready as I could be.
My gut feeling is you're going to succeed overwhelmingly based on neck up. All these combine things, it's all about neck down.
The marginal size stuff?
Well, I mean, you're 6'1". I mean, I'm 6'1.5", $194. Now, you're a bigger, thicker kid than me, but we're about the same size. Historically, the numbers say 6'3" and up are your Hall of Famers. Is that an unfair?
No, that's fair.
I told you. By the way.
But today's game is different than Hall of Famers.
How?
It's faster. It's not nearly as physical. You see more teams reverting to some of the screen game. You watch the Eagles and you watch the Chiefs. You watch the Rams play. There's a lot of what do you call it? RPOs.
Right.
You have options on your run plays to throw the ball. You're trying to make a defense wrong by numbers. It's not just your typical called play, smash mouth football. It's just different. So you don't need a guy that's 6'5" to sit behind in the pocket and sit there every down and throw. You need somebody that's going to be able to manage the team, make those guys around him better. It doesn't matter the size. When it comes to that, all of that's out the window. And just be able to get a W.
When you're doing a documentary, 4-part series here on Fox, we have a great documentary team. So you chose the right team, or they chose you, or something, because they make great. They're all great.
They're good.
They're really, really good. Gabe, props to you. Tip of the cap. Nobody knows who I'm talking about. But I could say, Baker, what the hell are you doing? Well, you're doing a documentary. Mark Sanchez did a GQ spread, and everybody's like, dude, win a few games. Come on. Why do a documentary?
There was a lot of questions about who I am leading up to the draft, in case you didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some people were very critical of you. I didn't like it myself, but nonetheless, go ahead.
So I wanted to do something. Everybody nowadays kind of does their own leading up to the draft, whether it's not nearly as invasive as, of privacy as something of what I did.
Yeah.
But the team that I had made it easy. I wanted to do a behind-the-scenes look about the draft process, let people know exactly who I am, what I'm all about, and just to be myself on it. And I think that if you watch it, you can tell who I am, the people that I surround myself with, and just the work ethic, the mentality, and just the values I hold myself to as well. There was a lot of questions of, he's got character problems, stuff like that. I would hope that you can watch that and get a good judgment based on who I actually am.
Yeah, I've never thought you were Johnny Manziel. You throw a much better football than Johnny Manziel, and he's got issues you don't. I've never thought that. By the way, there's a lot of misinformation about this stuff. I don't think you're a bust. I just don't think you're Russell Wilson because I think it's completely unfair. And I think NFL guys do this all the time, GMs. Oh, he's the next John Elway. Now, I watched John Elway play live. He may be the best player I've ever seen play NFL football. I do think you're going to last in this league, but I don't think you're going to play a ton your rookie year. How does that land with you?
Human nature and who I am says that I want to play right away. I've always been that way. Always been the most competitive guy. And, yeah, I want to play, but at the same time, everything that I've talked to with the Browns, everybody that I've talked to, it's about being ready for my opportunity, not rushing into it. This is about long-term point of view, not just short-term wanting to play right now. So I've always said the best thing to happen to me at Oklahoma was having to sit out that 2014 season, getting to do scout team, getting to learn, work on my body, and also then the mental side of things with football. And so I need to handle it the same way, except just take it up another notch.
A local Browns reporter wrote, his words or her words, not mine. He was not ready to compete for the starting job. Do you agree with that?
They were also there the first day OTAs. Yeah, absolutely ready. My first day, I'm not going to be ready to compete with a guy that's a veteran that has taken a team to the playoffs right away. I'm still I was still learning the playbook, and I still am now, trying to get as comfortable as Tyrod is with it. And so right now my mentality is level the playing field on the mental side of things up to training camp, and then from there, getting more experience is always going to help.
By the way, Cleveland, and this is not a cheap shot, there's been a lot of dysfunction. They've drafted a lot of dudes, had a lot of GMs, and a lot of coaches. You came from a gold star program that has been nothing but brilliance. Bob Stoops, same president, same coach. It is a gold star restaurant. It is a 5-star, 4 seasons. Now you move into a realistically dysfunctional organization.
No.
Are you concerned at all about that?
I have no concerns about it being dysfunctional because it's not. I've watched the way Elliott Wolf and John Dorsey interact with everybody, our coaches, and then the Haslam family. It's not dysfunctional at all. And until you step foot in that building, you can have whatever opinion you want. We know what we have in there, and that's all that matters. We're going to stay true to that, and we're going to go to work.
Do you think it's possible you've made yourself, though, a little bit of a target? Because you are cocky, you are fun, you are lively. Like Cam, you're a very emotional player at often a very stoic position. Andrew Luck hasn't had an interesting quote since he walked into the league. Russell Wilson's a yawn. Tom Brady never says anything. You and Cam, you light a room up. You talk. You emote. How possible is it you'll become a huge target? Johnny Manziel walked into this league, and guys were going after him. Are you concerned about that?
No. I carry myself with the confidence that a lot of the other guys in the NFL do. It's not about, how you get there. Actually, it's not about the fact that they're there. It's about how you get there. That's why people have the chips on their shoulders. That's why all those guys do. It's just I'm more vocal about it, but that's just how I've always been. I'm confident in who I am and what I've done to get here. A lot of those guys are, though, as well. But the person I am in the locker room, I don't even have to defend myself there. It's just I'm going to be a guy that's going to put them in front of myself always. I've always been a team-oriented guy. So.
All right. So stay here. Don't go anywhere. You're not going anywhere, right?
No.
Where do you go?
So.
Yeah, I mean, where are you going to go? I mean, it's it's just L.A. There's nothing here anyway. All right, I got 2 pieces of video I want to show you. I'm not in love with either. You can defend yourself, say what you want. We're back in a second. Baker Mayfield, who, by the way, if you can focus in on that shirt, is fantastic. I will say this. Get that graphic out so we can see that for our audience. Yeah, you won the interview with that. You drop the mic right there. All right, back in a second with Baker the Herd. You're playing Ohio State. I watched every snap. You were, gloriously talented guy, right? And then I see this play right here. Now watch this, Baker. And you throw a touchdown, and now I don't like this. I'm going to tell you right now. How come you're not, what? Where are you going? Where are you going over there?
Our band is over there. Our student section's right there. And then straight back to our sideline.
What about your teammates?
Did you watch the rest of the game?
I watched the whole game.
You did? So you saw me celebrate with my teammates like the 3 touchdowns before that, too?
I don't like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You pulled the one clip of me running right there to our fans and people that traveled well to that game, first of all. And then you didn't show the rest of the clip of me going to our sideline?
No. You have to go to the sideline. You're not going to go to a hospital. Well, where are you going to go after the touchdown? You're not going to go.
Well, you're acting like I just ran away from everybody.
Well, you did, but then you came back and circled to the sideline.
This is a 5-second clip of yours showing me, and then I'm off the screen right there?
I'd like you to be with your teammates.
Watch the rest of the game. I was.
All right. Oh, I know you went back to the sideline.
No. Go watch the other touchdowns. I got very excited on that one.
So you think my accusation that this isn't
the fact
great?
That I feel like you're going for the fact that I'm not a team guy. I'm selfish. Is that what you're shooting at right here, or what?
It is no. I don't think that. I think sometimes your judgment's just a tad off, and I think the NFL's a judgment league because the game is so fast. Mm-hmm. You have to make the windows get really, really tight and really, really small. You got to make decisions really, really fast. In college, you got that Orlando Brown guy. Got a little more time. I don't love that decision. I don't love it.
The celebration. Do you see what people do in the league now, celebration-wise?
Hip thrusting, not a fan. Not a big fan of hip thrusting. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like when Antonio Brown's doing that stuff. I'm not into it. You know what? Do you have your celebration?
No, I have nothing.
You're just going to give the ball to
apparently, I think I need to just run away.
Okay. All right, we got to get to the other one. The other guy showed it too. I don't think I'm being a jerk.
What is it?
I have a general rule. Don't like my quarterback showing up on police video. Don't love this.
That's what you said I was undraftable for, so let's watch it.
That's why I don't like this. This doesn't do it for me. So what are you doing?
I was not in trouble. Then the state of mind that I was in, which shouldn't have happened, they started asking me questions. I watched somebody get just absolutely socked right in the face. Okay. And so I was answering questions.
So you were in an area where something bad happened.
Yeah. Was never directly in trouble, but then when they were asking me questions, for some reason, I thought I was in trouble and decided to try. I wouldn't say it's a runaway because that's not real good speed right there. But
when you look at that now, are you embarrassed? Are you mad?
Absolutely. There's so much regret about that because if I didn't run, there would have been
nobody
nothing
cares.
Ever. No, ever. You wouldn't have said that I was undraftable, and then nobody would probably have been questioning me about being the next dropout of football. So, I don't know, there's a lot of regret to it, but at the same time, that was a rude awakening to responsibility and accountability for me, that a lesson that was harshly learned. Yeah, I could have learned it over time, but that was just very eye-opening for me.
By the way, that's the best answer you've given me in 10 minutes, by far. Embarrassed, learned a lot. That's what I want to hear. I'm a general manager. That's the best 30 seconds in your interview right there. That's what grown-ups say.
Hey, I appreciate that.
That makes me like you more. That's like, okay, if you
now
come out.
Now we're moving somewhere.
You and I are not moving anywhere.
Oh,
You're going to go be a starting quarterback, and I'm going to be a radio idiot. Okay, we've got our own lives. Okay, so now let's do good stuff. Let's move into the good stuff I like. You're accurate. You throw a really good football. You have no chance to bust as long as you get a little protection. Give me a little backstory on this. I am surprised you had to walk on. You throw an incredibly accurate football, and it's why you're going to win a lot of games in this league. I don't think you're Drew Brees. I think that's unfair and ridiculous. Have you always been – were you a baseball player? Why are you so accurate? Because it is your strength, and it's real.
I was a baseball player, but I wasn't a pitcher. I'm definitely way more accurate with the football than I am a baseball.
Okay.
I had to learn how to be accurate with it because of how big I was growing up. I wasn't the biggest guy, but what got me by was the mental aspect of the game, and then also just putting the ball in the right spot. There's a saying that you can't defend a perfect ball. I don't care who you are. You can't defend a perfect ball.
Okay, here's the second thing I like about your game, is that a lot of the truth of pro football, I mean, it's violent. And it's like college football players are good. NFL players are superhuman.
Everybody's good.
I just watched The Incredibles with my son yesterday. It's like superhero stuff, right? You always keep your eyes down the field. And by the way, a lot of guys don't. They can hear footsteps. You are all dialed in here. Tell me, you've never been the biggest quarterback, the biggest guy. How are you able to stay totally focused on the action when you have guys who bench press Oklahoma breathing and bearing down on you? Because this is one of your – I talked to a Jim about this. I said the one thing I love about him, he's accurate, and that kid did not hear footsteps. Where's that come from?
I don't know. I think I just kind of trained myself to always find the best option. And sometimes when you have a lot of chaos in the pocket, there's somebody screaming open down the field. And so just knowing that I can take a hit if it's worth it to get the ball out of my hands and in somebody else's, I'd take that chance. But nowadays it's a little bit faster, and so the time clock in my head needs to speed up.
By the way, you can sense it's faster even at camp.
Oh, absolutely. You can sense the fact that I need to be able to go through 1, 2, maybe 3, and then it's either throw the ball away or if there's a lane to step up and run, actually tuck it and run, you need to do that and then get down and protect yourself.
10 seconds. Were you a good student at Oklahoma?
Football was my favorite.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
By the way, I was a C+ guy. Yeah. I knew what I wanted to be.
My parents would not be very happy about that one, but I did graduate.
All right. I mean, look at this thing here. You got a big support group. I'm out here by myself. I got all these people that hate me off to the side. I think you did
They heard what you were saying, and they thought they needed to come support me. Okay. I appreciate it, guys.
I thought you did a nice job. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
I totally appreciate you coming. You answered every question. And I really like what you said about the police video. I thought you sounded like a real grown-up. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I mean that. Good luck to you, Baker.
Appreciate that.
Hour 2 next, The Herd. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.